Okay, Coach Dez here. Now on the board, Seahawks. With their offense, you are strong rushing right. First, the numbers represent yards per carry. I have them broken down by quarters. And passing is yards per passing on the completion side. So that's what these numbers represent. Now, what your strength and weaknesses is what I'm going to go through. Your strengthness is on rushing right. You're averaging 5.3 yards per carry. I don't really take in consideration the middle, because usually what happens is a lot of times you're just taking a knee or you just want to burn the clock off. So that's why I don't really pay attention to the middle. For your passing game, you got a lot of passing yards here. You're very strong on passing, especially up the middle. Any football team will tell you you do need somebody to go across the middle, and you're very strong there. You're averaging 70% completion in the middle, which is 13.4 yards per carry. This is what I'm worried about, these sacks. You see these sacks? You're averaging 3 sacks per game, which is 49 sacks, but you're not at the highest. So that's something you don't have to worry about. Interceptions, it's only a half a interception per game, but fumbles 1.3. Gotta hold on to that ball. And I will give you the conclusion on this after I talk about your defense. But let me just tell you, in the postseason, you got stronger in the middle in passing. 80%. You averaged about the same, 13 yards per carry. These two numbers really did go up a little bit, 14.7 yards per passing on the right, and I have 16.4 yards per passing on the left. But the percentage were the same as your regular season. These are all regular season numbers. Your regular season was 62%, postseason 60%. Over here on the left, your regular season was 64%, and the postseason 64%. So you didn't change there. You did improve here by 10% in the postseason. You went 80% in the postseason. As far as rushing right, middle, or left, your numbers were pretty much down a lot. Here on the right side was 5.3. You averaged 4 yards per carry during the postseason. In the middle, like I said, I don't worry about that. But over here on the left, in the postseason, you only averaged 2.4 yards per carry. So something happened where you did more passing than you did rushing. You did sacks was still the same in the postseason, 3.5 per game. No interception and no fumbles. So let's talk about the defense then. Okay, your defense, this is what you give up per carry and per yards. Now, so your right side during the regular season was, you gave up 4.4 yards per rushing right, rushing left 5.8. That's where your weak spot is, on this left side here. Even in the postseason, you cleaned it up a little bit, but it was still your weak side. 4.85 over here on this left side. Whoever was that outside lineman on that left was giving up almost 6 yards per carry. I don't know if it's poor tackling or what, but like I tell the kids, I don't want to see no flag grabbing, because this ain't flag football. You're going to grab them, you wrap them up, and you bring them down. So you need to clean this up. Again, this is what you're giving up. You're giving up passing right, 11 yards. Might be that same lineman, I don't know. Or your safeties are playing too deep. I didn't see that in the postseason, but in the regular season, I can't say. I don't get to see a lot of the games, but when I do see them, I'm breaking them down and I'm analyzing them. Passing them in the middle, 14 yards. I don't know who that middle lineman is, but he needs to get it together. Or your safeties. Are they doing their job? Passing left, 10. So what you gave up in defense, right across this middle. These two outside linemen, they did their jobs because it was 57% completion here, 54% completion here. But this 80%, that's unacceptable. That means that means 4 out of 5 were being caught down this middle. 80% completion? No, that's unacceptable. Sacks. Your line did its job. In the regular season, they averaged 2 sacks per game. But in the postseason, they averaged 4.5. Interceptions, 1. You didn't have none. In the postseason, fumbles, 1.4. You had none in the postseason. So in the postseason, this middle gave up too many yards. Even in the regular season, too many yards. We got to clean that up. So now, what do y'all got to do to get back to the big dance? I'm going to tell you something. You probably would have made it if that other team didn't let the Packers beat them, so that you would have to face them in the postseason. I know how this went. They lost that game so that they wouldn't have to play them for the 3rd time. They gave that game to y'all so that you could beat the Packers. And then they would go from dome to dome without having to play outside. But let me tell you something. This is football. Football is about embracing the cold. I remember the Ice Bowl. And I don't care what y'all say. We were cheated out of that game. But hey, what happened back then happened back then. We ain't gonna worry about it. But y'all go back and look at that game and you tell me we didn't cheat. We got cheated out that game. But anyway, let me tell you something. Quarterback, hold your head up. You got in too late. I do believe if you had one more quarter, just one more quarter, you would have beat the Packers. And I'm going to tell you how. Because you went back. I blame this on the coaches, not the players, the coaches. Because they waited till halftime to tell you what to do, instead of making the changes from quarter to quarter or whenever they need to make the changes. You need to go back and look at the film. You beat them on the ground with your foot, quarterback. And Packers lost that game each and every time when you ran. But this time, you tried to do something different. Waited till you come out of the 3rd quarter and you started turning up your feet. And when you turned up your feet, that you were coming back. I do believe if you had one more quarter, you would have beat the Packers. You would have been going to the next level in the playoffs. But because you were short time, it didn't finish that way. But you will go back. Anytime you need to, go back and see how you beat them before. And that will determine the outcome of how you need to play each team. Yes, the coaches are going to say, run this play, do this. Pull that ball down and run. All you need is 10 yards or whatever the first down is. You manage the clock very well. I don't have a problem with you not managing the clock. You do manage the clock. But what I need you to do is defense needs to clean itself up. Okay? So you need to ask yourself, did we make the right choices in the draft? If not, there's a lot of free agents still out there. Pick them up. And there's a lot of undrafted players out there. Give them a try. All right. Peace out.